Hello world, my name is TJ Brown, founder of Sickle Cell Natural Wellness Group, and I'm here to talk to you about taking risks. I've taken a lot of risks in my life. Some of them I probably really shouldn't have taken, but it was all a learning lesson. One of the risks I had to take was based on my health. I have sickle cell, and a lot of you don't know what that is. It's a blood-related nutrition deficiency illness that causes the red blood cells to lack oxygen. When this happens, the red blood cells break down, causes pain, things like organ loss, bone damage, bone loss, strokes, heart attacks. The list goes on and on. Uh, at one point, I thought I was going to die. Even me being brought into this world was a huge risk. My mother was told that there was a 50% chance I'll be born with sickle cell, and should probably consider having an abortion. She was told this because they told her I would have a life of suffering and I probably wouldn't live to see 14 because I was the average age that people with sickle cell would live up to at that point, since there was little to nothing that doctors knew or could do about the illness. But with a lot of prayer and my mom decided everything happens for a reason. She decided to bring me into this world. Growing up, I was very sick. I lost my gallbladder at the tender age of 2 years old. So I literally grew up in the hospital a lot of my life and was around a lot of doctors and nurses and medical staff. Um, it got to the point where I was always sick. After around 13, I started getting very sick. I moved up here from Jamaica, and the nutrition is different. The food, the environment is very different, and I had a really hard time getting used to it. I missed the average of 90 days in school. In college, I had to miss 3 months out of college, take an absence of leave, a sick leave, or whatever you want to call it. I got my gallbladder taken out. So at this point, I'm about 20, and I lost my spleen and my gallbladder. My liver is about to go bad. In and out of the hospital every 2 weeks. I don't have a social life. I mean, I feel like my body is deteriorating. Like literally, I could die any minute. And every time I got sick, I was like, okay, this must be it. It got to the point where I almost wasn't. I really wasn't scared of dying. I was just like, okay, it just needs to happen or not, because it's like a long, drawn out process. No one wants to suffer, you know. So I ended up asking the doctors, drilling them, what there has to be something you guys can do to help me, something to go, there's nothing. We've given you everything. The painkillers aren't working anymore. You're just gonna have to deal with it. And I was getting things like, the strongest painkillers on the market that doctors could prescribe. That's what I was getting for this, and it wasn't working. It was, if anything, it would make my pain worse. Um, so I decided to take a very big risk, which was going against everything I was taught a whole year, 20 to 21 years of living about medicine, about health, and starting over from scratch. And I came upon food and how food can be used as medicine. And a lot of doctors just made it, and some of them still can't connect the dots between nutrition and food and how it directly affects the body. But a lot of doctors, even in the beginning, one of them specifically said, I asked him about noni berries, goji berries, acai berries, and mangosteen, and he said those are great blood builders. They're very good for the body. And I decided to take a risk to slowly wean myself off prescription medicine, change my diet, change the type of fuel I'm giving my body, and look for food for medicine. And it was very hard in the beginning, but it's a very enlightening process. I've learned a lot about myself, my body, the universe, people, the spirit. I've learned a lot mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And it's been a great change in my life. Started a nonprofit health and wellness organization called Sickle Cell Natural Wellness Group. We go around and we visit churches, hospitals, homes, spread information. Online, we spread information all the time. We have at least four major sources of information always being blasted out to people. We speak to thousands of people all over the world, and it's amazing. I get contacted by people on the daily for speaking opportunities and just information. They want me to help their families and stuff, and it's very fulfilling. Once I decided that this was really working for me, and I was feeling a lot better. I was able to this first time I was able to spend 3 months out of the hospital without getting sick, and And for like at least 3 years of my life, that was unheard of. I was sick every month at least. You know, every 2 weeks I was in the hospital, at least in pain. I was in pain every day. Every day of my life I was in pain up until maybe 2 years ago. And it was a very huge risk. A lot of times I questioned myself. A lot of times I felt restless. Uh, but I've met a lot of great people, and I prayed very hard about the risk, and it was very fulfilling, and it was worth it. The amount of knowledge I've learned today, I wouldn't trade it for $1 million. You know, my health. Your health is your first wealth, so that's very important. My website is scnwg.org. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/scnwg. You can Google keywords like TJ Brown Natural Wellness, TJ Brown Sickle Cell, whatever. We host fundraising events, and we use that money and we put it back into the community and put it back into awareness and teaching people about health and advocating sickle cell awareness. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I hope that you can learn something about taking risk. And if you believe in something, if you feel deep in your bones, in your gut, that something isn't right and you feel you should change it, you should really step out of your comfort zone and make that change, because that's what's really important in life. Thank you very much. You can also find me on Twitter at TJ_says natural. All right? Thank you. Peace. Much love.